ICE unleashing an onslaught of flashbang grenades and chemical ammunitions at unarmed Minneapolis protesters in a war-like attack. Several protesters are struck, and the reporter for Status Quo is struck in the head. I got hit in the head really bad. Watch what takes place. Here, play this clip.
Oh, I got hit in the head really bad. Oh. Oh. Fuck. Out of the blue, the police are moving forward. Shooting, firing. I got hit in the head, man. Been shooting off munitions again. Not quite sure what I was hit in the head by. I was turned, had my back stupidly to the federal officers. So I believe it was something that they threw or fired.
All right, stay here. Let's see your head. Where's your head? Stay here.
Sorry, we're just checking my head. I don't believe I'm bleeding. I don't think it's that bad. That absolutely horrible. But thankfully, at least was wearing a hat. Let's back up the way a little bit. The gas is coming our way. The gas is coming our way. And they're continually firing off things.
Then you'll see over here, multiple fires have broken out after ICE unleashes another onslaught of flashbang grenades and chemical gas at unarmed Minneapolis protesters in this war-like attack. Here, play this clip right here.
Fired defensive shots to defend his life. Whoa, we got pepper pellets moving. This way. Oh, all around us. Far into the crowd. Whoa, watch out for the car here, John. Yep, watch out for the car, though.
Come here. Try.
And then the ICE agents would just pummel them on the floor. They would just haphazardly beat down on peaceful people. People are saying, he did nothing wrong. You just hit him with your car. What the hell are you doing? Then ICE would take out their gas and their noxious spray, and they'd start pointing it, and they start pointing their weapons right in the people's faces. And they'll start saying things like, you see what we did to that other lady? This is your last warning. You see what they did? We had someone we interviewed, a Status Quo interviewed, where they said, you see what we did with that lesbian bitch? That's going to be like you. You see what we did with that lesbian bitch? That's what these ICE Gestapo, these SS, these disgusting, vile paramilitary forces are saying. Here, play this clip.
I'm pressed. We are pressed. We are pressed. We are pressed. Back up.
And here they are again on scene in Minneapolis as shots were reportedly fired last night by ICE. One resident told the folks at Status Quo, ICE shot a kid. He was just trying to run away from them, and they started shooting at the kids. They started shooting at the children. Here, play this clip.
Not quite sure what the situation is there. They were there when we arrived. They seem to be cuffed. So what, do you know what happened on the ground here?
I think that they shot a kid. They shot a kid that was trying to run away from them, and they shot at them. That's why we're here right now, because it's unacceptable that they start shooting kids now. They start shooting kids from the back now. We can't fucking let this happen.
Was this part of a raid, or was this just one of their...
It is because they stopping people, they just stopping people randomly on the streets, and they were heading home, and they start fucking shooting at them because they were trying to run away from them. That's why. That's why.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about a very serious and important topic: recent shooting involving ICE, US Immigrations and customer enforcement. In the United States, millions of people around the world are watching this news because it shows how law enforcement actions and public response are uh, affecting communities in America. Their script will explain that even in simple English so everyone can understand. What is ICE? ICE stand of US Immigrations and Customer Enforcement. ICE is a federal agency in the United States. Its job is to enforce immigration laws. ICE officers can arrest people who are in the country without legal permissions, detain time, deport them back to other home country, conduct immigrations enforcement operations. ICE workers under the Department of Homeland Security. Why is ICE controversial? For many years, ICE has been controversial. Some Americans support strict strict immigration laws and believe ICE is necessary to protect the country. Other argues that ICE use unfair or violent tactics, especially in poor communities and among immigrants. Their disagreement have made ICE a central topic in US politics. In the past year, ICE has been involved in many shooting and fatal in countries, uh, creating major debates in media, governments, and communities. Human Rights Watch podcast the Minneapolis shooting. What happened in Minneapolis in every January 2026 in my is a 37-year-old woman named Rena Nisol Good was killed during an encounter with an ICE agent. This event was catch one on video and spread widely on social media and major news outlets. Human Rights Watch officials said the ICE agents shoot Miss Good because she threatens him with her vehicles. But local witness, community members, and human rights group questioned that account. Many said video footage suggests she might have been trying to leave the scan, not attack the officers. Human Rights Watch. How did people react? The death of Renee Good targets nationals outrage across the United States, protect and march look peace in many cities, including New York, San Francisco, and more. Thousands of people gathered to oppose ICE, oppose ICE use of force and call of accountability. Some protesters demanded the abolitions of ICE altogether. Others called for deeper investigations and justice for Miss Good's family. Returns plus one. Governments and political response. The response among politicians was divided. Some local officials, including the mayor of ICE action and called for claim and investigations. Other national leaders defend the agent, claiming the shoot was justified because the officer felt threatened. This event also specials ongoing debates in the US about immigration policy, federal policing power, and community safety. Second shoot in Minneapolis. What happened next? Shortly after the first shooting, another incident happened in Minneapolis. A Venezuelan man was shot in the legal by an ICE agent during a confrontation that being as a traffic stop. Report said that the situations turned violent when the agent was illegal attack with object leading him to fear and them people. The second shooting also speak protect and increased tensions in the country. Local leaders again called for claim and for peaceful protect, while critics say the continued use of force by ICE was making the situations worse. What is operations matter? Sure, the series of incident in was a part of large ICE enforcement miscalled Operations Metro Surge. These operations involved increased federal agents department to multiple cities to conduct targets arrest and immigrations enforcement. It led to several confrontations with local communities as well as more high uh, profile shooting. Larger context, other ICE shooting and violence, nationwide increase in ICE shooting. According to in department data and news investigations, there has been a notable increase in shooting involving ICE and immigration enforcement agents in recent months under expanded enforcement police. ICE agent and related federal officials have shot at individuals dozens of times across the country since 2025. The gender their incident have led to multiple deaths and injuries, fueling criticisms of how the U.S. government headlines immigration enforcement and the use of uh, uh, deadly force protect movement across the USA. The mine shootings help spark larger movements in many parts of the country. The some critics protest were peaceful with community uh, violence and raised, and other class between Democrats and law enforcement. Some protest force on reduce ICE pressure in communities. Others called for policy reform and investigations into law enforcement tracts. Time activists and immigrants' rights organizations have used their events to push for uh, borders change in immigration policy and law enforcement outside government and political debates, call of reform or abuse ICE. In the wake of these shooting and protest, some political leaders have introduced or proposed legalizations of reforms ICE or even abuse of agency entirely. One notable example in a Congressman Sire Threadner when proposed a bill of demand ICE and instructions federal immigration enforcement the time of India. Supporters of this idea agrees that ICE participate has become too militarized, violent, and harmful to civil rights, especially among immigrants and critics of immigrants' backgrounds. Options argues that ICE is a, an ethical for national security and border enforcement, and that solutions should force on better training, accountability, and outside rather than abusations. The safe defense the Department of Homeland Security and many federal officials have publicly defended ICE agents' actions, often use the arguments of safe defense. They claim officers only use force when they believe they are in danger, such as when individuals use vehicles as weapons or physically attack them. Supporters of the weavers say ICE must protect agents and enforce the law even in danger situations. New York Post People option and polls. What do America voters think? Recent polls showed that a majority of US voters disappear of how ICE is enforcing immigration lawyers. A quantum university national poll found that most voters believe most some fatal shootings by ICE agents were not justified. Poll cues. This is significant because public options often influence political decisions, electoral outcomes, and how law enforcement agencies are reformed. Human rights and international reactions. Human Rights Watch and other critics. Human rights organizations, including Human Rights Watch, have criticized the use of debatably force by ICE agents. They argue that their shooting fit into a partner of constitutions force and that in department investigations and accountability are urgently needed. Human Rights Watch. Their groups point out that when federal agents investigations themselves transparency suffer and public trust is demand. Why the matter? The recent shooting involving ICE officers have become a national issue in the United States. There rise important questions about the use of force by law enforcement in immigrations communities, the balance between security and civil rights, the need for transparency, accountability, and reform in federal agency, the divisions in U.S. politics on immigrations policy. Whether you agree with ICE actions or options them, their events affects millions of people both in the U.S. and abroad and shape the future of immigration, law enforcement, and civil liberty in America. Final message for viewers. Thank you for watching. We hope these explanations help for understand and complex and complex situations involve ICE shooting in the United States. Please stay informed by checking news source and always thinking carefully about the information for see online. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep and clear explanation for important world event. See you in the next video.